All right, let's see what we have here. We're given a graph of a line, and we're told to identify M, the slope, and B, the y-intercept, and then it says write the line equation in slope-intercept form, point-slope form, and standard forms. So we're going to do all three forms, okay? Let's start with identifying the y-intercept. That's typically what I do first. I'll identify the y-intercept. We just go along the y-axis. This is our y-axis. We go along the y-axis until we get to the line that's right here, and we can see that b is equal to positive 3. Okay, so b is 3. Now to get the slope, I usually start from b and I travel along the line until I get to another place where it crosses through one of these intersections of the x and y. So you'll see the grid. We've got these spots right here where you can clearly see a vertical line and a horizontal line. That's usually what I'm looking for. So you can see right here, this does not intersect there because it's got a horizontal line but not a vertical line. Okay, and so I'm usually looking for one of these places, and there's one right there. We have a vertical line and a horizontal line, so I'm going to put a dot right there. Then what I'll do is I'll go either up or down. This is a negative slope because it goes down and to the right instead of up and to the right. And therefore, this is, you can just come over here and put an arrow. It's pointing down, so it's negative. Okay? So from here, we're going to go down, and we're making our way over to this dot. So we're traveling vertically and then horizontally over to the dot. Vertically, we have a change of -2. Why? Because from here we went downward. Downward means negative. Then we go forward by 1. And so that means our slope is down 2. Slope is down 2 over 1. And so our slope is -2. Okay. And so now we want to write the line equation in slope-intercept form. So that's going to be y equals m, which is -2, x plus b, so plus b is already positive, so we put plus 3, and this is the equation of this line. And you can go into Desmos if you wanted to, and you can check, type in y equals 2x plus 3, you will see this line, this very same line. Okay. Now if we want to identify point slope form, what we have to do is, to do point slope form, we have to find any point on the line. And look, there's this point right here. But actually, I think I want to use this point right here. This is the point 2, -1. So we're going to select a point on the line, and then the -1 that's going to be our y1, and the 2 that's going to be our x1. And our point slope form goes y minus y1. Well, y1 is -1, so that's minus -1. But we don't write y minus -1. We write y plus 1. So it'll be y plus 1 is equal to m slope times x and then minus x1, which is 2. So we can go ahead and make it a minus 2. And so this is the equation of this. These two lines are the exact same line. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to put an m there. Excuse me. We gotta put the slope there, and the slope is -2. -2. There we go. So y plus 1 is equal to -2 times x minus 2. And so these two lines are the exact same line. Okay. Now, something that is noteworthy, I think, is this. If your y point is negative, you're going to have plus. If your point is positive, you're going to have minus. And the idea goes like this, is that if you were to plug this number in for x, you would get 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. Plug this number in for y, -1 plus 1, -1 plus 1 is equal to 0. And so the point slope form equation always has the opposite sign than the value that's being used. Okay. Now what we want to do is I'm going to use this, and I'm going to turn the slope-intercept form into standard form. We're going to go from slope-intercept into standard form. Okay. and it's basically already in standard form. All I have to do is move this x over to the other side, okay? So I start with y equals negative 2x plus 3, and if I add 2x to both sides, I wind up with 2x plus y equals 3, and this is now in standard form, okay? I think we should do another example. Okay, here's another one. We've got this line right here. You can see that it is a positive line. It goes up and to the right. Okay, so this is a positive slope or a positive diagonal line. We want to do the same thing. We want to identify M and B, and then write the line in slope-intercept, point slope, and standard forms. Okay, to identify B, we're going to go to the y-axis. Here's the y-axis. We're going to go down, and here it is. There's the y-intercept, which is negative 2. So B is negative 2. And then from there, we're going to go up and to the right, because this is positively sloped. If we go along here, this is not at one of these intersections of the vertical and horizontal. Neither is this, neither is this, neither is this, neither is this. Here's one right here. There we go. And so we're going to go up and then over, okay? And we're going to go up 1, 2, sorry, so we got 1, 2, 3. So that's plus 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So plus 4. So it's up 3 and over 4. So the slope is going to be up 3 and over 4. So it's positive 3/4. Okay? And so now we can write the equation in slope-intercept form. Y equals 3/4 x minus 2. Remember, it's plus b, but when it's a minus, when b is a negative value, we put minus. Okay? Now let's go ahead and write this in standard form. This one's going to be a little different to do standard form. What we're going to do is we're going to multiply by the denominator, because remember, we don't want any fractions in standard form. So we're going to take our y equals 3/4 x minus 2, and we're going to multiply everything times the denominator of 4. So we're going to go 4 times y, 4 times this, 4 times negative 2, okay? And that gives us 4 times y is 4y. 4 times 3/4, remember, when we multiply a fraction times its denominator, all it does is cancel the denominator. So all we have left is 3x. So this is equal to 3x, okay? Then 4 times negative 2, that's minus 8. Now we're going to subtract 3x from both sides, and we wind up with negative 3x plus 4y equals negative 8. Now here's something really neat that we can do. If we don't like all those negatives, we can actually multiply each side by negative 1, because we're doing algebra here, right? Negative 1. And if we do, the negative 8 becomes positive 8. And negative 1 times negative 3x just becomes 3x. And negative 1 times positive 4y becomes minus 4y. And so, negative 3x, so negative 3x plus 4y, y equals negative 8, and 3x minus 4y equals 8. These are the same. They're the same line, okay? And I don't want to get you confused, but it's just true that they're the same line, okay? Lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to do point-slope form. So let's find a point on the line that we can use. What if we go down here? Here's a point right here. This is the point negative 4 and negative 5. And so we're going to do y plus 5 equals the slope, which is 3/4, times x plus 4. And it's x plus 4 because our x value, x1 here, is negative 4. And it's y plus 5 because our y value, y1, is negative 5. And so we want to do y minus negative 5, so y plus 5. And we want to do x minus negative 4, which is x plus 4. And so this is our point slope form.